You are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by Richard A. Boxshall, in which I chronicle my life and attempts to become a professional writer by, doing some writing daily, hopefully. Hello, today is Thursday the 7th of November 2024. Or NaNoWriMo Day 7, and you are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. And I can turn around on this podcast and say I've had a good, productive day today. So my initial plan was to get up and go and have breakfast. And I actually woke up at about 6:30, and there actually is a coffee shop close to me that opens at that time. But being me, I procrastinated till about 10 to 8. But I still did get up, walk into town, have breakfast at the coffee shop. I actually went into Costa Coffee first, and I saw up on their sign, and I just asked, "Oh, can I have a bacon roll and a black coffee?" And the woman behind the counter just looked at me as I was a complete moron and said, "Oh, you need to go and get the bacon roll from the counter." She didn't say in a friendly way like, "Oh, sorry, love, bacon rolls on the counter if you go and grab one." She said it really aggressively, like I was stupid. So I started walking towards the counter and then just thought, nah, you know what? And just carried on walking to the door and went round the corner and went into a coffee shop where I wasn't patronised and had a lovely bacon roll with very good service in a different non-Costa coffee. So that was fun. Yeah. And whilst I was doing it, I wrote the next scene. And that was really interesting because that scene wasn't a scene in my breakdown, in my plot breakdown. So basically I've got, it's really complicated. I don't want to go in too much detail now, but I've got two characters that never got to have a proper conversation about their future. They're attracted to each other, but one of them was nearly dead, basically, when the other found him, and they didn't get the chance to have the conversation about what they want out of life if they're lucky enough to make it through with the rest of the designated survivors. And so they next see each other in the epilogue, and I kind of thought, well, that conversation about their future kind of already needs to have taken place, because I don't want a loaded conversation. I want them both to have had the conversation and then both had time to think about the implications of what they both said and both sort of know what they both want. And suddenly, in a conversation that was meant to be basically one person with a tree speaking through one of the human beings saying, "Okay, I'm ready to talk, go and get everyone." Suddenly it's like, "I'm ready to talk, but before we talk to everyone, can I just have a quick word with Marianne?" And the tree entity allows Mackenzie to effectively communicate with Marianne and talk to them. And yeah, very complicated if you don't know the story. It all means nothing. But it was just a really lovely moment, and it really gets me out of a hole in the epilogue. So that was lovely. And then anyway, I walked home via my bookshop where I picked up this book about the Dream of the Rood, which is we think a 7th or 8th century poem written by a poet called Cynewulf, which is the name of they've given the tree entity. That is absolutely deliberate. Yes, I've named the tree entity. If you've been watching the live stream, you'd already know that. Sorry, this is one of the first podcasts for a while I recorded actually on the live stream. But anyway, the book I bought it's called The Dream of the Rood. It's a poem allegedly written from the point of view of a tree, and I just thought that was really interesting. And it's actually all the point of view of the tree that was cut down to be made into the cross that Christ was nailed to. So it's a religious poem. But I just thought, wouldn't it be fascinating to imply that it was actually written by a tree? There you go. So that's why the tree entity has that name, because it's the same name as that 8th century, whatever it was, poet. Anyway, I then walked home and did a few other bits, procrastinated again quite a lot, built some Lego, and then thought, well, let's do and remixed a song, because, why not? And then I thought, no, let's do this. Let's actually get some more work done today. So I did the live stream, and I basically got a big chunk now of this chapter 37 done. It's sitting at, let me just call the file up. Oh no, that's the wrong file. It's sitting at approximately 6,500 words. 6,596. It's there's only two little moments left to write in this chapter. I'm not going to do it now because I want to do it tomorrow. So it's basically, I need to have a quick scene where Ronnie identifies the tree she's going to try and get Claire into, or Claire and Steinwolf into, and then at the very last moment, the Arboretum, the armed backup men to protect them arrive, but on their heels is the army. So then you've got a standoff. You've got the army surrounding the Arboretum. It is well defended. It's got quite a lot of people there. But now, somehow, they've got to get... Well, Steinwolf has got to go into Claire. They've got to get him into Claire without him suspecting anything's going on. Pull the plug so he's trapped in the human form. And then, somehow, get him past the army into the interface tree, where he can hopefully, if he's not pissed off with what they've just done, hopefully he can then advocate for the version of the wipeout plan that allows designated survivors. Oh, it's all so complicated, but yeah, that's what's got literally in the last scene. It's that I've just got to write Ronnie finding the tree, the Arbor troops turning up, followed hotly on the on their heels by the army. And that is, and that's it. And that's that chapter finished. So I will finish the chapter tomorrow. I might even get some editing done. That's me. I will be back at some point tomorrow. I am going to do some writing in with some friends as part of NaNoWriMo tomorrow. So yeah, I will. It will be quite late before I do a podcast tomorrow. Thank you for listening. Take care. Bye bye. You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by Richard A. Boxall. Thank you for tuning in to my random ramblings, and if you'd like to know more about me or my projects, visit my link tree at linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W. Thank you for listening.